You ready for your first act, ladies and gentlemen? Please give it up and show a lot of love to Aisling B.
I'm delighted to be here, really, because I actually haven't been well recently. Oh, stop it, honestly, I don't want to talk about it. But if you insist. I really haven't, though, so that's why I'm delighted to get here today. I was rushed to A&E recently with terrible abdominal problems. Just hideous pains all up and down my tummy and around my sides. And I was rushed to A&E. And for about 3 hours, I thought, and anyone here who ever read a magazine as a teenager will know what I mean, especially the girls. I thought that I was about to have a surprise baby. Do you know the way there's those stories in the magazine going, well, everything was normal, nothing was different, everything was regular. Well, then I went to the toilet and I looked in the toilet and there was a baby in the toilet. And I had a surprise baby. There was always that, and that's when I thought it was. But you'll be happy to know that actually it was, I'm bringing sexy back, a gut infection. A gut infection. But the worst part of the whole situation was that the doctor in A&E was really, really handsome. And I think doctors who are handsome should be struck off. I really do. I wanted someone with a sort of mashed potato head that I could feel at one with. But instead, this man was really handsome. He said to me, what seems to be the problem? And I was like, well, doctor, my problem is that I'm too cute. Cheers me. I mean, how could I tell him that I thought I was having a surprise baby or else I was waiting for a poo? I mean, he couldn't, you know. And once we find out which one it is, do you want to go for a drink? It's really quite terrible. But by the way, you might notice that I talk quite fast. And if I'm honest, it's not really going to slow down too much, so you'll have to sort of jump on the Venga bus of enthusiasm and beep the horn with this one. I think that the reason I talk quite fast is because I was brought up in the countryside, in the deepest, darkest countryside, where there was no one for miles and miles around. Just this giant expanse of land with no one to talk to. And it was very, very lonely. You'd have no one to speak to during the day. I mean, a very backwards existence, lads. Like, our clothes are made of mud. Our hats were made of leaves. We had no access to things like pot noodles. We just had to sort of pour boiling water on top of birds' nests if we didn't feel like cooking one evening. I mean, really backwards existence. And crows everywhere. Crows. In the city, there's pigeons everywhere, but in the countryside, there's crows everywhere. And it makes everything you do seem really ominous. You'd open the window and it'd be like, wah, 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 wah. Well, that seems a bit ominous. You know, you'd be standing innocently over a dead body in a field. Oh, God, this one seems a bit ominous. But the reason that I think I talk quite fast is because I'd have no one to talk to during the day. And so some days, the only person you'd have to talk to would be a passing car flying along the road. So you had to learn to talk fast if you wanted to talk to anyone. You'd be like, hi, how's it going? Oh my God, come back and talk to me. Do you like my new dress? Stay and be my friend. This sort of thing. Some days you'd be waiting for a tractor to come along, because you get more time out of a tractor, you see. You get to talk to them for longer. You'd be like, hi, how's it going? Do you like Sesame Street? I like Sesame Street. Oh, you do like Sesame Street? Sometimes I think Big Bird might not be a big bird, but he might just be a man in a suit. I know it sounds bad, but I have my suspicions. Goodbye, come back. Also, I talk quite a lot, and I don't really notice myself doing it. The words come out and I don't sort of see them happening. It's a symptom I like to call secret talkers, which I base on the Channel 4 show Secret Eaters. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that programme. For those of you who haven't, it's basically, well, someone comes along and goes, oh, I don't know why I can't lose any weight. All I do all day is eat less. And they put a camera on them then for a week, and then they go to them afterwards, they go, oh, do you know what it is now? Do you know every time you have lettuce, you have a gatto? And then, oh, that's probably what, yeah, that's probably what it is, yeah. I actually suffer from a terrible disability which prevents me from doing any exercise, which is where I can't Be arsed. I can't be arsed. I really just can't be arsed. I just kind of can't be. And I would love to be arsed. I would love to be one of those people who's naturally arsed to do things, but I just sort of can't be. And I mean, my disability affects me in so many ways. My ability to clean the bottom of the dustbin, ring my aunties back at Christmas. I would love to, but I just sort of can't be arsed to. Unfortunately. I mean, I just don't like moving too much. I would sort of rather sit on the couch and waste away than move. I don't really like moving too much. I don't even listen to sad music in case I'll be moved. That's just sort of bad about me. And I think the reason that I don't like exercise is because the school I went to didn't have much money. So the sports facilities weren't great. And so a lot of the sort of sport and exercise we used to do used to leave us really pregnant, really pregnant. Well, I did get tricked into going to Pilates class because I thought it was pronounced pilots. I was there for about 15 minutes going, I wonder when they're going to let us fly the planes. My friend Brona suggested that I do something social, like ping pong table tennis. The ball moves too fast. I can never see it. To me, ping pong just looks like two perverts spanking a ghost. Just don't understand it. I'd love to have, like, American-style confidence. You know, like, are there any Americans in? Do you see what I mean? Wow, I'm on my own, but I don't care. Look at that. I love that. American-style confidence. Woohoo! Americans just have this confidence from the absolute gut of their culture. They just back themselves. Americans took men and they sent them as far away as the moon. In Ireland, we're like, Jesus, lads, it's a long, long way to Tipperary. It's a long, long way to go. I mean, I don't think we could make it there. I don't think we could make it anywhere. Oh, by the way, I'm Irish. The family's in, they must have found somewhere to park the van. But yes, I was going to use it as a surprise reveal at the end, but no, I'll tell you now, I am actually Irish. But yes, it's, the most confident American I ever did see was the rapper Kanye West. Not to be confused with a Nobel laureate, Kanye West. He did a gig a couple of weeks ago where he was so confident that in the middle of his gig, he stopped the song and said, "Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up." He said it in his own accent, not in an Irish accent. Kanye West of Ireland. But he's like, "Everybody stand up." And he refused to do the song until everybody stood up, including two people in wheelchairs. You can watch the clip online. And apparently he was so confident that even the two people in wheelchairs were looking at each other going, I mean, maybe we should just give it a go. Maybe what's been holding us back all this time has been a lack of confidence. Do you know what I get a buzz out of? Sitting down. I love sitting down. I do. I love sitting down. I even tried to do this gig sitting down, but they said they couldn't legally classify it as stand-up. Hi-oh! But yes, I really do love sitting down. You know the way you always hear those stories in the tabloids about those men who were found sat down in a chair, dead and alone, and they hadn't been found for days, and they were sat there covered in their own wee. Oh no. What those stories never mention is the smile on that man's face. But my mother said to me, she was like, "Aisling, if you don't start doing exercise, then you could end up becoming fat thin." And I said, Jesus, Mary and Joseph and all of his carpenter friends. What is fat thin? Oh, Aisling, I read about it in a women's magazine. A women's magazine. The only targets of women's magazines are other women. Fat thin is where you're thin, but you're secretly fat because you don't do any exercise. You can also be thin fat, thin, too fat, too thin, thin in the wrong place, thin in the right place, fat in the wrong place, fat in the right place. But no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you are definitely wrong. And I As if I don't have enough problems in my life, trying to walk down the street at night and not get raped, trying to live in a society where 25-year-old women are sticking plastic and poison in their faces, so by the time they get to their 40s and 50s, they've nothing to do to themselves but pull out their eyeballs and stick babies' eyeballs in instead. Or even worse, where it's a tragedy to die young, so we're all pumped full of stuff to make us live longer, but nobody wants to do anything as unnatural as look older. Oh no, wouldn't that be mad to look older and be older? So we're all pumped full of stuff to make us live longer, but look younger. So by the time we die aged 100 in a box, we look like we've died tragically young. That we live in a world where they have developed telephones without plugs that can send a picture of a cat from one side of the world to the other side of the world in under a second, and they are still trying to come up with faster telephones. Yet still, after 200,000 years of humanity, we have not come up with a better way to have a baby child than to push something the size of a bowling ball out my tiny hole. And now I have to worry about being fat then. I said, go shove it up your floop, mother. I didn't actually tell my mother to go and shove it up her floop. I agreed to go to a Zumba class. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been absolutely lovely. I've been Ashling B. Have a fantastic evening.
Boom.